back to another episode of Smart Love here on Between Us Girls. I am your host, Michelle, sometimes called Miss Creative, and I hope that everyone has a decent vibration today and that if you don't, you are seeking to improve it. So today I want to get into a interesting video that probably will receive some bad reviews. I don't really care. I'm just here to tell the truth. Today, I want to talk about victimhood or the blame game versus gratitude or the glow game. I don't really know what to call it. I just want to say being a victim versus living in gratitude. So that is what I'm going to be talking about today. And I hope that you will stay for that and that you didn't just show up here to say, I can't stand this bitch. If you did, I'm sorry for you. Okay. Hope you get to the other side of the chart back there. All right. So let's get into it. Okay. So I know for myself personally, I lived a long time as a victim. Now, that's not to say that we are not being victimized, particularly in the Black community, because I think that's very true. However, you do not have to live in that state, because what really happens is when you feel victimized, you're really, really grieving because you're feeling grief. You feel shame, you feel assaulted, you feel tired, you feel beat up, and who can vibe there? Like, what kind of vibration can you have from that state? Like, really search yourself. Anytime that you have felt like somebody did something to you, what did you feel like? What did you feel like at your core? Like, if you could attach an emotion to it, what would you say it was? Think about that for a second. Personally, anytime I felt like a victim, I felt angry. And that anger turns into bitterness, you see, because it kind of settles in you and sort of festers there. Like it grows, but it's toxic. It's like toxic waste. You really need to be releasing that instead of holding on to it. So my kids are doing their usual. So my son's sleeping right now at present outside the door. Now I say it'd be quiet, but now is the time that you feel like you need to sleep. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, so yeah, victimhood keeps you really focused on that failure or the experience that you had that caused that suffering. So your focus is directly on suffering. I am suffering. I am a victim. I was hurt. I was this. And then how long do you talk about it? When something bad happens to you, you just got to tell everybody, oh, listen to this. Oh, I need somebody to talk to. Oh, I need somebody to complain to. I mean, that is going to keep you squarely focused on your failure, your shortcoming, or the pain that you felt in that time. So where your focus goes, your life grows. So if you're focused on pain and suffering, well, what do you think you're going to get more of? Pain and suffering, right? Okay. So to me, it definitely lowers your vibration, because if we look at the scale, which I guess I'll put right here. If we look at the scale, you're going to go down when you feel like somebody has assaulted you. So you are going from love and acceptance to shame, grief, anger, all those things down there at the bottom. Again, I really want to put my chart up there. I know y'all see my sign, you are here. I would like to use it because it goes like this instead of like this, because I hate to see people really have to accept that they're at the bottom of that scale, because then they don't feel good. And they're like, man, I suck. I don't want anybody to feel like they suck. I want people to be able to understand that they need more love. Okay. So again, being in that victim state keeps you directly tied to that moment that pained you. That's all that you can think about. You stay rooted in it. As long as you feel like the person who hurt you did it intentionally And now that you've been hurt, you can never love again, or you can never be successful, or whatever you think. As long as you continue to be tied to that moment, you're going to be continue to be tied to that moment. My neighbors are getting in your refrigerator right now. Yeah. So as long as you continue to be tied to that moment, you will be tied to that moment. So you can't move out of it, and you will find yourself in bitterness. I know people don't want to hear that, but it's absolutely true. Like staying stuck in mud. It's like getting in mud, and instead of moving out of it, you stay stuck in the mud because it allows you to be what? The victim. And if you like that, if you like being able to have people to talk to and tell them that you have been hurt and harmed, you're not going to want to move out of it. So like, it's a mindset thing. Okay. So let's get into what you can do when you find some gratitude in you. Okay. All right. So let's talk about gratitude. Gratitude. So this is a new concept for me, like within the last year, probably 6-7 months. But I had to do it because I was stuck in that victim mentality. Like I was suffering so badly, and I wanted to kill myself so many days that I finally just said, I am going to stop saying I want to kill myself. I'm going to stop saying that. And every time I feel inclined to say it, I want to say, I just want to love myself. So I started saying, I just want to love myself. And a child, I was saying it so much because I felt so frustrated with my life and how things were and how I wasn't able to excel and how I wasn't feeling good. And oh my God, oh. And I just would always be like, oh, I just want to kill myself every time I would have a meltdown. And so finally I was like, this is dumb, because I started studying the law of attraction. And I was like, every time you say that, you're getting closer and closer to jumping off of a fucking bridge. So stop saying that shit. So I was like, okay, well, what can I say? I just want to love myself. 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 Until I did. Okay. So gratitude for all things keeps you focused on growth and moving forward. So anytime you have an experience, you feel like you've been victimized, if you can take that experience and chop it up and find the ways that it has been a benefit to you, you'll be able to say thank you for it. If you get broken up with, really look at it. Is this even the type of man that I need to be with? If you lose your job, what was I doing at work that was fucking up? Where am I supposed to be improving? Like really look at what has happened. Look at yourself in it. And look at ways for you to be able to improve, or ways that you were holding on to things that you don't even need anymore. That is how you're going to find the growth in it and become excellent, okay? Because you will then be operating from acceptance. So I'll place the chart here again. Acceptance is at the top. Now, my girl, Esther Abraham, who I can't wait to interview. I'm saying it like that because I asked once and she was busy. So I'm going to ask again. But one time I heard her say that if you could place yourself between belief and acceptance, you would be at the greatest vibration for you at that time, especially whenever you are experiencing contrast. That was when she said, after contrast, if you could place yourself between belief and acceptance. So faith and acceptance. I believe things will get better. I'm accepting this for what it is right now. And I'm saying thank you for the experience because it is going to grow me. That is what I'm talking about. So when you're in your victim state, you're associating that traumatic experience with trauma. And it's keeping you on the lower end of that scale. But when you can associate that experience with positivity or something that is a benefit to you, then it's going to help you to move out of that mud, because you get stuck in that mud And you're just like, oh, why me? Oh, and now it's just raining. Now it's raining on you while you're stuck in the mud. Now you got a damn mudslide and you still can't get out of it. The mud's moving, you're not. You standing right where you are. The mud is moving around you. So you have to be able to see yourself as somebody who's getting something out of all of these experiences. Like when my dad passed away, I was very angry. And I spent a lot of time questioning God and wondering why that would happen to me, because it hurt very badly. And I was looking around at all the girls around me who didn't have that experience. Their father was there for them. And I felt like a victim. And I went through so many years of my life without faith and without guidance because I had cut myself off from that years before. But I was so angry, I couldn't see the good in anything. I thought everything was fucked up. Everything was fucked up, and I was always having a fucked up time. But I was manifesting a fucked up experience from that vibration. So even though my dad passed away and I lost all those years with him physically, I mean, I built a whole altar back there with a water bottle on it devoted to, honoring my ancestors. And looking through all of those papers and all the things, I found myself too, because I was like, wow, I'm not weird. Apparently this is genetic. So even though that was a really, really tough time for me, I needed that to happen because I had to go through all of those experiences that molded me to be this person that I am right now, who is giving you this information. Because if I was always happy, I wouldn't be able to tell you guys how to get happy, right? I wouldn't be able to tell you guys how to turn that glow on, because I never would have been able to say that I had my light off and then on. So all of that was for my good. So even though it hurt me and I was jealous of my friends and I was bitter because I was lonely and I didn't have my dad and I was making all these really terrible decisions in regards to dating because I didn't really have a good example of what it was supposed to be like for people to date you. Because also, before my father passed away, he was like, ain't no such thing as boys. Don't date anybody. They all suck. And I had a dream right after my dad passed away. And even in that dream, the only information he wanted to give me was, don't let these niggas treat you like shit. So it was just like, he was obsessed with it, like protecting us from men and all these experiences. But like, of course, he passed away before we could even understand why he was doing that. So, I mean, but it's been a blessing. Like, I think if you can look at all the things that you went through in your life as a positive, you won't be bitter and you won't live on the left side of my chart, which is a big dark cloud. A big dark cloud of, that's what, when I look at that painting, I hear in the dark because you feel fucked up. So yes, but the point that I'm trying to make, it was like, now I'm rambling, but the point that I really want to make today is that if you could move yourself from a victim into a person who feels gratitude all the time, you would create more love. And that love that you create would move you from the left side of my chart to the right side of my chart, which is where the love is. And that's what we really need to be having right now. And we need to be sharing it with each other. And we need to be living an abundant life. When we talk about abundance, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about feeling that love, feeling that glow, and being able to share it with everybody. Okay. So I hope that you got something out of this today. I hope it wasn't too rambly. I try to do something a little bit different, but I mean, I just be talking. So if you like what I said, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. If you don't like what I said, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And please be following me on Instagram at MSCreativeAF, at Between Us Girls Podcast. And I'm just really looking forward to the next phase, you guys. I have a lot of really great things planned, and I just feel so grateful for my experience. I feel full of gratitude and promise, and I feel like this is my time, and I want to be sharing it with you. So, thanks again for sticking with me and for checking out this video, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye.